It's that time of the year again where we are all gearing up for festivities, but at the same time the meteorological conditions over our Indo-gangetic plain is gearing up to give us some of the worst polluted days. Now with me I have Dr. Ravindra Khaiwal, who is, according to the Stanford Scopus list, the top scientist in atmospheric sciences right now. We are sitting in his office at PGIMER in Chandigarh. I am Mohana, Basu, assistant editor at ThePrint, and we are here to understand the current situation with respect to stubble burning. As we all know, that is one of the causes of the pollution that we see during the winter months. And there have been a lot of initiatives and a lot of talk about what to do about this problem. So, what is the current situation right now? How, data-wise, how is stubble burning faring this year in comparison to the previous years?
If you look at the trend, basically, you will see that there was this 1 or 2 days, there was a peak on 1st and 2nd October, but now it's only 100 count. So up to 15th of October, basically, we will not see a peak. As we will move ahead towards the end of October, there will be a peak. Depending on the meteorological condition, basically it may be a little later also. Because if there is a rain or something, so we have seen that sometime it shifts to second week of the November and then goes up to the, you can say, 15th of November.
Right. So, on average, compared to the trends that we saw in the last 2 years, how's the graph going?
I can foresee that from 2021 to 2022, basically, there was 37-35% decline. So, instead of 85,000, basically we saw somewhere around 50,000 fire count. So that is a significant achievement. And we should understand that there are several policies like National Clean Air Program which aim by 2026 we reduce 40 to 60% of the air pollution in non-attainment cities. There is Commission on Air Quality Management which is working in coordination with Haryana, Punjab, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh and even West Bengal. Those who fall in this catchment area basically. Now coming means what they are doing, they are working at the ground to provide the support. So either it is, you can say technological support, or it is in situ, ex situ management, or some policy intervention. So looking at all these things, we think that, and the trend of last 10 years basically, there will be a decline. If all the effort at the ground, we say that working perfectly.
Right. So, when you mention these stubble burning counts, I think it will be a little interesting for us to know how it is that you monitor this data. Are you looking at satellite pictures? How accurate is that?
We make use of NASA satellite. It is modest, and then they have specific sensor, and the hotspots are counted. Right. These are indicative count, because the satellite does not pass the whole day or does not look all the time. But through these indications, we knew that fire count is increasing or decreasing. So this is a proxy measure, we can say. Of course, like we have seen initially, there used to be a 1 feet to 1.25 feet height, which we used to cut or burn basically. Nowadays it is up to 6 inch only which is being burned. So there is a fire radiative power, which is energy basically, through which we can measure these things also. So we make use of the satellite data to estimate this count, and along with Punjab University, PGIMER is working from the beginning actually. So we are the first one in this region who started sharing this data with the public and the policy maker.
Right. So that brings me to an interesting question of the building that we are sitting in is the School of Public Health, and you yourself are a public health person. So how does environmental pollution sort of fit into your area of research, and basically why do you think it's becoming more and more important to see public health through this lens?
if you look at basically the global burden of disease, basically public health is all about how to improve the health and the well-being. So when we talk about health and well-being, so environmental factors are responsible for major disease and deaths, and they are preventable. So what is our goal? To preventable death and disease burden should be minimized. So if 25% of the death and disease burden which are preventable is associated with environmental factor, you look at emerging threats like these toxic chemicals, like we are saying that air pollution is responsible for 70 million deaths, and in India it is one of the major risk factors. So all these factors itself told us that either it's air pollution, occupational health, soil pollution, water pollution, all these are important aspects, and if we want to minimize the death and disease burden to achieve a sustainable development goal, we have to look after the environment health issue.
Right, and you were also mentioning earlier that there is a climate change. Climate change also needs to be seen from the lens of public health. So can you elaborate on that?
Yes, basically we need to understand that public health is all about preventable death and injuries minimization. So when you talk about climate change, so there are two aspects, one is mitigation, one is adaptation. So we have seen in the recent days that how these extreme weather event, either it's cyclone, flood, lightning, is impacting, and their incidence, frequency, duration, intensity have changed and affecting us. So if you look at it, we might say it's only 2.5 lakh deaths which could be attributed to climate change. But what are the indirect consequences of a flood? If flood is there, first stage is direct death, then a certain population will be displaced, there will be a mental health issues. So if you look at the whole chain analysis point of view, these kind of incidents will increase, and death and disease burden related to climate change will increase. So as a health sector employee, or as a health sector professional, basically we need to think about how to minimize this death and disease burden.
Right. In fact, Dr. Khaiwal, for those of you who don't know, is responsible for a lot of outreach material, some of which is right here behind me, where he produces material for children, for all sections of the society that sort of demystifies science and talks about various aspects of public health, and some of that, where can people access some of these materials?
We have a site called www.care4is numerical, cleanair.com, and there is a section awareness material, and you can download freely. Only thing is that if you want to make use it for professional purpose or other, please do write us and take written approval.
Right. So, coming back to the question of stubble burning, what do you think is this year going to look like? Do you think there's going to be a decline, and would that impact the kind of pollution levels that we see in Delhi?
I will start. Let us first thank all the efforts, either by central government, state government, NGOs, academia, industry, and our own farm. That is why from 2021 to 2022, we were able to reduce roughly 37%. So 85 to 50,000. Now the Punjab government is looking after, because they, if you look at the distribution of the fire count between Haryana and Punjab, 85% contribution went from Punjab and 15% from Haryana. So the Punjab government is targeting that they will try to minimize it half this year. So in this region, basically they want that roughly 25,000 fire count will be there. So that's a very, I will say, admirable goal. And if all the effort at the ground work, we can attain this. But looking at the previous year trend, 10 to 15% decline should be feasible. Now, if you look at the Hindustan Petroleum, they have the largest bioethanol plant, which was supposed to be started from Feb 2023. And if they start buying all this for preparing bioethanol, and you know that we heard our Road and Transport Minister Gadkari ji that India will be a leader in. Even in G20, we have seen how India promised that this bioethanol or solar alliance, basically they will be working together. So if not only this, basically in situ management, either it's happy seeder or mulching basically, or educating farmer. So from NGO they educate the educational institute, and then ex situ management. Ex situ basically, if you look at starting from industry, where the government provided subsidy to them, that if you use biofuel pellets basically 10%, so they will get certain tax rebate also. So and there is other you can say benefit to them. That will be a game changer. And similarly, we have seen that how various educational institutes come together. Like single-use plastic is banned, but we need alternative. So from crop residue, they have built these cutleries, means spoon or a plate actually like this, and we have seen roof walls or other material basically being built. So paper and pulp industry is also using this. So if all these efforts work out at the ground, they will help to increase the farmer income. And if farmer will get some value for their waste product, why they will buy? So an effort of the government, if you look at either center or state, is that how to increase farmer income. So we are sure that these efforts will yield some positive result this year also.
I hope so too, because it's high time that we get a handle on this problem. And you want to add something?
Yeah, basically we need to understand that this season, October-November, is a meteorological phenomenon. First thing, the monsoon withdraw after 27th September. October. So once the monsoon is withdrawn, we have no cleaning mechanism. So it's either snow scavenging or rain or gravitational setting. So the pollution will start building. At the same time, meteorology is major player. Why? Because the atmospheric boundary layer will be down, emission will remain the same. So the mixing of the pollutant will be in lesser areas, so the amount will increase, and that help in building up the pollutant. So emission during winter or summer more or less the same, but the area in which they mix is reduced. So that is why we see this problem in north region. So depending on the meteorological condition, the emission and atmospheric activity, the smoke which we see in this region will be built up, and if there is a wind blowing, means that will help in dilution. If there is a rain, will definitely clear out the pollution.
Right. And in all this conversation, we must not forget that the pollution that gets emitted from within the city itself, in Delhi also, that has a significant contribution to the overall pollution levels, and stubble burning just does add to it. But one step at a time, and we hope that sooner or later these interventions together at different levels will bring about a change, and we will see cleaner air in our winter months. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for speaking with us, and thank you for watching this video. Do follow us on social media platforms for the latest news updates.